Are we starting this thing? Is that what's happening right now?
You guys are the journalists.
Can I have a bite, though? Because I'm really excited about dinner.
We're eating culinary delight.
Yes, we are. Prepared by the
Brianna.
lovely Miss Brianna Walsh.
Right there.
Ooh, this is good. Never too much for thought, I think.
Yeah.
What is it?
Ziti?
All right.
Tuesday Night Vibes.
Yeah.
Well, here we are.
We are.
Where's your questions? Or do you just have them all memorized?
Oh, honey, I'm an off-the-cuff girl.
She's a fucking
I do
journalist at
have
heart.
some things in mind that I would like to...
The nitty-gritty?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's nitty-gritty. Okay. Hi, guys. I am Emmy Jones, and I am here with Jeffrey-Paul Horn.
It's very important.
And the lovely Miss Brianna Walsh, who has made us dinner tonight. Baked Ziti, which requires no definition. And we are interviewing J-P this evening.
Hey.
Hey. Who are you?
I'm a guy who's been a lot of places, but has never been maybe the guy at the top of those places, but has seen the guy there. But I've been a lot of places. I've seen a lot of...
You're the support, right? You are. But you're beautiful support.
Catch me out in the back. We are at the Pussy Palace.
You'll
I'm just a
understand
guy.
that more later, guys.
Exactly. And, I feel like I have little bits of things to say.
Toby wants
Maybe.
to interview you too.
To Toby's question, yes.
Okay, so
What motivates you?
there it is.
To do art, or just to wake up every day?
Both, I guess.
Oh.
You can interpret that any way you want to.
Well, I love life and the things in life and just seeing things. I appreciate things, I think, maybe more than your average person. But I don't think I come off that way often, but I do wake up and see blades of grass that look maybe different, or just a leaf that looks a little different. I appreciate things like that.
I know that sounds so weird to people who aren't artists, but I get it.
I get it. I'm not an artist, and I get it. I was just going to say, I can see how your inspiration for life is also your inspiration for your art.
Well, my inspiration for my art also is to, because it's in me, I have to do it. And I want to leave a positive legacy. And I want to leave with something. A positive legacy. I come from a long line of negative legacies, so I'd like to leave a positive legacy.
That makes sense.
For, my daughter and other generations, And it seems, somebody told me one time that it was maybe narcissistic to think that way.
All artists are a little narcissistic.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's true, and maybe it is, but it's not really so much it's not so much about fame or anything. I could write a song and it become a traditional song or something like that. Nobody knows who done it. You know what I mean? But I would love that. That would be awesome.
You would be absolutely fine holding on to the anonymity, which is a fun
Anonymity.
word. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, but still have a legacy.
Exactly.
I get it. It's not.
It doesn't have to be my name.
Yeah.
Just to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that we
Just
all
to
are.
leave a good mark.
Right. And we're all a part of it, and that's exactly what I get. Just leave the biggest mark that I can. Without being famous. I really don't want the dredges of fame, but I want I want to be a performer. The end goal is to write the songs that other people play for me.
So I am curious about the process. Like, does it start from a feeling? Does it start from a lyrical idea? Does it start from a melody? Where does it start from?
And it's all over the place for me, really. Usually I don't go into writing a song thinking, I'm going to write a song about this. They usually just kind of come to me randomly. I'll just be kind of fooling around. Like, really, I haven't been trying to write a song, and I just wrote one the other day. because I was just fooling around on the guitar, and then like lyrics this will sound good with this, and just I hear it, I feel it, and then it builds from there pretty much. So that's and I also I write poetry and stuff, but that's pretty much how I create. Is pretty much random and random inspirations, but usually I'm tooling around with something or maybe an idea of something else, and an inspiration will come.
Well, I want to give a quick interjection and then pass the floor over to Bree, because I know she wants to say something. She has an actual question. Quick interjection. We actually are featuring one of your poems in the first episode of the radio show.
Which I'm honored.
Which was kind of a surprise. And I'm really glad that you enjoyed it when I played it back for you, because I was nervous about it. But, all right, there you go.
That actually is a good interjection for my next question. You mentioned that you write poetry. You've explored poetry along with other forms of artistic expression. Like you went to art school, for example, and you're a published poet. So what made you decide to choose to actively pursue a career in music at this point in your life?
I couldn't tell you. I just think that when I was a kid, I expressed myself through drawing. And then through a long story at my art school, at the end of going to art school, I lost all my art. I picked up the guitar. And it just basically went from there. I picked up the guitar wanting to express myself. I've always written poems and written poetry. So I don't know, it just... And sometimes I get discouraged and I get down, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I'm ever going to do anything. haven't really done anything too big yet. But then I'm like, I write these songs I must be writing them for a reason, for some kind of a reason. It's just it kind of happened.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Like, I was actually thinking about this earlier. When you sit down to write a song, like, why? I mean, I get it. I get that it's in your soul. I get that. But, like, why is it in your soul? Why is it so important that you take the time to sit down and write a song?
Rarely do I sit down to write a song. They just kind of, when they come, they come. That's pretty much how it happens. Sometimes I'll sit down with an idea or an intention, but usually they come to me unintentionally. And that's why I think I must be doing it for some kind of a reason. And I don't think all my songs are, great songs. They're okay, a lot of them, but a few of them are pretty good, pretty decent songs. I don't know. It's just coming out of me for some kind of a reason, I think.
I think the thing is, like, I think most people would assume, like, a poet, maybe it's a cathartic, like thing.
Songwriting?
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. I love to write a song. But I think that I'm a little bit different than your average musician, because I'm not a musician's musician. I think I'm more of an artist who plays music. In that, like, I don't have your best ear. I have a decent one. I've grown, and I don't know. I think I approach writing songs from more of an artist point of view than a musician's point of view, if that makes sense.
No, totally. I'm going to make a suggestion right now.
Okay.
Okay, the suggestion is, myself and Bree, we have finished our plates of baked ziti, and maybe would like to have another round, or at least I'm speaking for myself, because that's good.
Yeah?
Oh,
Thank you.
And you have barely touched yours, so I think we should take a pause.
Okay, pause it up.
All right.
I know what question I'm going to ask next, so.
Perfect. We know where we're coming from.
I was just thinking, man, what's that? It's already recording.
Let's do it.
It's been recording, but that's fine. Okay.
Question.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Because JP's eaten. And he has his guitar now. Yeah.
I do have my guitar now.
That's lovely. But you know what? Save it, because Bree had a question to start us off.
What was it that made you want to pick up a guitar in the first place?
I was depressed and sad, and I was just...
Knew it was cathartic.
You know, it was after the college thing that happened that I mentioned earlier, and I lost a girl.
Yeah,
Even
it always
before,
starts
it
with
was
a
kind of,
girl.
I was losing a girl, and I was like, I don't know. But I'd always touched the guitar, and it never was right. It never felt right. People would say, oh, just put your fingers here. It just never felt right. But something in me was like, I need to get a guitar. And I put one on layaway. It was a nice Takamine.
Oh, nice.
Takamine.
Not my preference,
No,
but
it was
nice.
nice. It was okay.
But nice.
It was like a starter Takamine.
My first
And,
was an Alvarez. It's fun.
I was 19 years old.
Ah.
So I started a little late. And that's what I mean. I was more of an artist trying to express himself in a different way, I think, than a musician.
So you said you began like with graphics, basically, like drawing.
Basically drawing, yes.
Okay.
Which I'd like to get back into.
So when did you like discover your love for words? Because you've got a love for words.
Well, it's an interesting question too. When I was a kid, I had this girlfriend.
It always starts with a woman,
It always
dude.
starts with a girl, man. I was about 12, 13 years old, and I started writing her love poems. And then she broke up with me, so I started writing depression poems and sad poems.
The full
And I would
range.
sit and write them and like write them over and over and over again until I got the best copy. I was very obsessive. I had those until a few years ago, and I purged them in a fire. I actually burned them up.
So dramatic. I've been there.
It's it's weird. They were like a part of my spirit for a long time.
Yeah.
And I burnt hundreds of pages of stuff, drawings and
So
stuff from my childhood all the way back. I used to draw basketball players a lot.
You know that Alvarez, right?
Yeah.
My first guitar.
Did you burn
I
it?
wrote wait
I
for
was
it.
just
I wrote this like super dramatic, lovelorn poem on the back of it, and then I held it over the fire, and my roommate stopped me from burning it. But yeah, I was ready to
You were
burn
ready?
it.
I smashed
Oh, fire and passion and
I
drama.
had this
and, you
Hohner.
know.
this Hohner classical guitar. I don't know if I told you the story, but I've had this Hohner classical guitar before.
Yeah.
It was an awesome guitar. It was so easy for me to play. It was a little wider neck, which I like. And I smashed it in a fit of rage once.
Oh man,
That
we
was
are
so
so
good.
we're ridiculous.
Yes.
We're ridiculous. It takes a special kind of. We were actually talking about this during the break.
That's the guitar I miss the most.
Yeah, well, you would.
Yeah.
It's just I forgot where I was, and that's okay.
It was a
We
sad
got
story.
that.
I have one
It
more
was,
question that
you
I had
got me.
prepared whenever you guys are ready.
All right.
All right, my last question that I had prepared was there seems to be a theme of trains and train tracks in all of your art, your
it's
poetry
true.
and your music, and even your video that you just did. I'm just curious where that comes from.
It's true. I totally
always
wanted that one.
loved trains, and there is many themes to myself: whiskey and loneliness. But trains are always in there. They're in there a lot. But I've always loved trains since Thomas the Tank Engine.
Okay, what is it?
Is there any significant? What's the significance to you?
Yeah, why?
They're big, powerful things, you know.
And
I
they're
don't know
always
why.
moving.
Yeah,
And
you
they're always going
and I
somewhere
get a
else.
rush when I see a train. I've got a few videos of me on Facebook where I probably was doing something I shouldn't have been doing. Where I was about 6 inches away from a train as it passed me by, going 80 miles an hour. That's what rushed to me. And I've seen videos where people get killed doing that.
Well,
But,
yeah.
I've
seen Fire Green Tomatoes.
And I wasn't even looking at the train when it's going past me. But man, that's a rush. I'm still here. There's a lot of other things that have happened. I'm still here. I must be here for a reason. Because, man, I've had a long, hard journey full of near misses. We'll just say.
So, but here's the thing. What is it about? Not just the power of a train, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because, come on, other things are powerful. So, what is it about the train specifically?
You know, what's changed about a train in 100 years? Not much. It's still the same thing. Like when they run them off of, they still run some of them off of coal, and as far as I know, you know, I could be wrong, but they're still running them off of old school combustibles. We'll just say, and all that, and it's the basis of music, if not of country music, at least, and blues, if not all music.
Oh,
That
sure.
rhythm in America, that
Yeah.
That's it. That's everything.
Yeah.
Some train chugging. You got yourself some soul. You got yourself some blues, folk music, even everything.
Well, it's
Everything
roots.
America.
It's roots.
It's America.
It's old and it's
Probably
it's
my favorite
Americana,
part
bro.
of America is the railroads.
Americana.
Just because I realize that, history tells us we were the first ones to do it like we're doing it. I still love trains. I still love the mythology. Everything about it.
The mythology, the rambling,
The romance,
yeah.
train hopping, train hoppers, shootouts in the Old West. I love it all. I've only hopped a tiny bit, but I aim to hop before I die somewhere.
You've hopped.
Just
I've
a
always
tiny
wanted
bit.
to, but I've been like, dude, I don't. I'm
Just
not
a-
a risk taker.
I've only gone
I
from
mean,
town to
you
town.
know me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I
big
don't
risk.
take risks.
I've only
I
gone from
prepare
town to
for
town.
everything, and I overthink it, and I plan it, and I'm like,
Well-
I gotta know exactly what's happening.
I'll
I'm
tell you
kinda-
what
And I
happened.
asked
too.
for validation 4 times.
I'll tell you what happened.
4 specifically? It's gotta be
Yeah,
4 times.
Of course.
I was
That's my
hanging
number.
out.
I'm also OCD.
I was hanging out one time near some train tracks as I want to do, and a train slowed down enough, and I decided to hop on it, and it sped up, and at that moment I realized I had made a decision that could affect the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But it slowed down about 10 miles up ahead, and I took the walk of shame back.
Well, thank you, darling.
That's my train hop. That's my biggest train hopping story. About 10 miles. I've only done it for a few miles, knowing where a train was going. Other than that,
I feel like we have not found a way to organically get you to playing us a song. And it feels like we should get you to play us a song, because I want you to play us a song. Any requests from Bree? But, I did have a point earlier, believe it or not, that I did. I swear, I had trouble getting to it, and I better not lose it again, because I'm so
So just
close.
say it already.
I know. Okay, it takes a special kind of person to put up with people like us.
You said
Sure.
it already.
Yeah, I know. But specifically, I wanted to mention, Bree, you are amazing.
Oh, stop.
Because you have your hands full, Pumpkin.
I know.
Because you don't just have to deal with him. You
But
have to deal
I don't
with
like
me
to
too.
be bored, so whatever.
Well,
I'm
good
always up for
you,
a challenge.
because this is never boring.
reminds me of this song.
That's probably.
Oh, it does. Oh, that was so organic. Give it.
You know what's funny? I was hoping it
Well done. It all works out.
My baby's loving, make me high. My baby's loving, good. Oh man, God, you know that. You know my baby.
percussionist, man.
That's all right.
But it's still
He doesn't
fun
make it
for
easy
me.
to keep a beat because he's so all over the place, but that's why it's interesting.
Exactly.
No.
I wish I could follow it better though. If I was a percussionist,
My philosophy has always been fuck metronomes.
You can't hold me down.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't rein this in.
Yeah.
Okay, I can be reined in.
Yeah. All right.
Tuesday night vibes.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to just bullshit and throw some pictures around about what the hell this is. Since we've been talking about it tonight, yeah, why not? I mean, if y'all are down for it, we're sitting here. We've been talking about it all night.
What we're trying to do is achieve.
Stop pounding the table.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to achieve